To battle, Packmates! And welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Mod. I am Captain Tirek of the Dreadnought Scimitar as we continue our campaign against the Lyran Star League. And this map isn't quite accurate for how much we've actually been doing. The border used to be back here. We are doing actually quite well, having managed to capture yet another Lyran space station at 7-4 and pressing onwards deeper into enemy territory. So let us just double check the supply yard, make sure that we are not damaged in any way and reasonably topped off on equipment, which we are, so we shall set out into space to find more Lyran things to destroy. Starting off on yet another patrol mission. My favorite kinds of missions. Small contained battles that you really don't need to worry about any big surprises. Pop over to the Scimitar. Make sure that we come into setting up a Wild Weasel. He's already done it. Thank you. Take away the ECM that we're going to be putting power into, and also the shield reinforcement. And that should be all of the excess energy that we would normally spend, and then we can go up to a speed of 10, I believe? Maybe even a little bit faster than that. Let's see what happens when it drops below 55. 11? Let's just double check this here. Oh yeah, his shield power comes back. Yeah, it looks like we're maintaining 11, and we're not going to get a perfect check because the phaser capacitor just finished charging. Looks like we are squaring off against a light cruiser and a heavy cruiser. We are escorted today by the Blood God, which is quite an interesting ship. It is, I would assume, a form of frigate. It's a much better phaser armed frigate, so probably a destroyer actually, armed with a single ESG and twin disruptors. And we are going up against a CVD and a CMF. So the light cruiser is a medium cruiser, and you are a carrier. We can actually tell that by the general shape and design of the vessel over here. Let us set course. We'll set our prep another decoy shuttle. Don't want to be behind on that. Forward shield to le reinforcements. Reinforce right there. And we'll increase speed a little bit. We'll come over here to our ESGs and set them down to 0. That way they're tightly compacted around the vessel to absolutely smash the crap out of everything that gets near us. It's a deadly, deadly technique. With 4 ESGs, each one dealing, I think, 20 damage a pop when we get into point-blank range. Oh, 80 damage. So wonderfully fun. It's not quite a plasma torpedo, and by which I mean like a dreadnought level plasma torpedo salvo, which will pump out like 200 and something damage, but it's still pretty nice. He's deployed his fighters. I think he did. Maybe not. Yeah, there they are. All the little Vizzes. Oh god, that's a lot of fighters. It actually may be just in our best interest to pop this out to a range of 2, fire up everything, and blast our way through all the fighters, which we may end up doing. Target me that CVD. We're going to target him with disruptor fire. We're getting within range. It sounds like the Blood Spiller has activated his ESG. We're going to fire through. Phasers into him. Come on by. ESGs set to 1. Activate both generators, and time to smash out the fighters. Come on. Oh, no, we didn't kick them out, apparently. Okay, why not? Hello? Expanding sphere generators? Huh, why are they not activating? Apparently, the capacitors were zeroed out. What? I don't understand. Why would that ever be a thing? You're fully ready, but there's no energy in the capacitors. What kind of craziness is this? Apparently we've managed to kick on one, which has managed to nail a fighter. But why are the capacitors so low on charge? I must double check that the next time we do anything. Suck phasers, we'll engage with all phasers. If we take out his fighters, he's much less effective. Disruptors, not getting any good shots in, which is a little bit surprising. Normally you would expect some sort of accuracy from disruptors at this close range. They do have an attack shift simply because they're such small targets. And it looks like our stern shields are offline, which means that could have hurt, but it didn't because he beamed it too far forward. And that one did hurt. We've got incoming missiles off our port side. We are busy trying to blast through all of our... The Blood Spiller has been destroyed. What? What is happening in this battle? I am immensely confused. Have we managed to figure out... Yeah, we finally took out those fighters. Drop a mine here. Promote him to go in that direction. Continue... Okay, there we go. Now we've managed to take out all the fighters, I think. Let's slow down a little bit, see if we can't take stock, refigure out what the heck is going on, because at this point I am very confused and very annoyed. we've got incoming missile fire from the starboard side. We're going to go to defensive track, set up 2 of those just in case so we don't have to pay too much attention to it. Let's come over to the shield reinforcement. We're going to reinforce all. We're going to slow down just a little bit more and start getting into work on repairs. I am very confused as to what just happened, and I am not at all happy. We've taken a considerable amount of damage onto our dreadnought. We've lost our heavy cruiser. This should have been a cake run. I'm just sputtering because I have no idea what to do. Like, how did all of this happen? Come on, get around to the outside. There we go. Another decent amount of damage getting dealt through. Looks like the Warlust is basically crippled. Traveling at a speed of 4.5 indicates that he's got, well, basically no power. And I think the Blood Guard has him mostly dead to rights. We're laying out the life chime. Sure, he's still traveling at 9.2, but he is only a medium cruiser, which means his power debt to move is not all that high. Let's keep patching things, because we are way low on power that we would normally have. That's a scatter pack. Select the scatter pack. Nope, didn't work. I was trying to fire a phaser at it. Did not happen at all. So we've got a whole bunch of incoming missile fire. Hopefully the point defense system will be able to handle that no problem. And I was about to pop that up to 6 just in case, but we didn't need it. Disruptors. It's not an open shield, but it's about as close as we're going to get to one. Let's pick up a little bit of speed. I think we're starting to get our feet back under us. I'm going to blame Thanksgiving for this, which, by the way, happy Thanksgiving. I know it was yesterday, but for me it's today. So, yes, must be a little bit off because of the delicious turkey. So, slowly trundling after him. Let's pick up some speed. I want to actually chase this guy down. We're going to use disruptors to basically ruin his day. A range of 10 would be somewhat ideal. 8 would be better, but that's photon torpedo range, not really disruptor range. We can actually play a little bit better at further range than that. He is trying to keep the best shield that he can towards us, and we're just going to keep on trying to blast our way through it. Let's select our ESGs, bring them down to a range of 0, so that when we smash into things, they die quite painfully. I'll fire all my phasers at a range of 6, you better believe it. ESGs, full power. Let's ram him off the road, which I do actually think this might get... no, if it hits the forward shield, it probably won't. But it will deal pretty considerable damage. No, it did it. Oh yeah, it very much did it. So we'll come around to starboard, come after the CVD, and end this little charade. I was thinking about selling the Blood Spiller. I didn't want to lose it in a battle like this. Ugh. Frustration. Not a hugely amount of frustration. I mean, this is actually pretty common that our heavy cruiser buddy gets annihilated at some point. But still, to lose him to what should have been mostly a milk run is a little bit annoying. I guess the fighters are really dangerous. At least they are to AI targets. Looks like the Blood Guard managed to just bump him and destroy him. He only had a single ESG too, so it dealt at most 20 damage. And I don't think he was at point-blank range. So he was basically on his last legs. Good job. Not so great on our part, but we shall survive and fight on. 220 prestige. Eek, that's not great. Not gonna lie, that's not tremendous. Let's go supplies. Patch the 24 damage that we took. Apparently 45 damage that we took. Increase a couple of marines. Give us another mine. A whole bunch of spare parts that we ended up spending. Not happy about that. I don't think we used any shuttles. No, we did not. So let us push back out. We are now an unescorted dreadnought, but that's not so bad. Unfortunately, it is a scouting mission, which does mean we won't be able to make full use of our weapons. Or at least not right away. Battle stations, red alert. It looks like we've got a single heavy cruiser. A Federation heavy cruiser. Ooh. It is a galactic survey cruiser, and the reason why we can tell that is quite simple. If you zoom in right here, you see 4 gigantic disk arrays. These are sensors used for the galactic survey cruisers, and you can always tell whenever you see them show up. One of the many little things that makes the Federation line the most detailed line in the entire Orion Pirates Plus mod, because they get so much stuff. Let's quickly check and make sure that our capacitors are fully charging, because that was some bull. Suddenly finding out that we had no energy in these things, that really hurt us. Probably led to the death of the Blood Spiller, not gonna lie. So we will trundle along and head right towards the enemy. Slowly, of course. He does have photon torpedoes, which are quite effective at long-range combat, a place that we are not effective at. Sure, we've got 6 disruptors, but our main punch does come out of these 4 expanding sphere generators, which, as you can see, have a maximum range of 3.999999. So yeah, his optimal range is about a range of 4. Photon torpedoes, I believe, are 40 or 60% accurate at that range, and or by 50 or 60, not 40. So 50 or 60% accurate at that range, which is quite nice accuracy. And so we'll trundle along in and prepare to wipe him out. First decoy is ready. We're going to prep a second. Galactic Survey Cruisers, I think, have 2 missile launchers. Let's send a probe and find out exactly how much. I do believe, though, that they are equipped with missile launchers because missile launchers are such a nice piece of equipment. Probe says he's got 3, as well as 2 photon torpedoes and 2 for just 4 phaser 1s and 4 phaser 3s. Wow, actually not nearly as dangerous as I thought. Taking a couple of hits to the forward shields. We were not reinforcing because right when we were about to check it, we decided to click on something else. So we did have to take that damage. 4 damage per proximity photon torpedo. Not great. And in fact, we're going to... Oh, no, we need to scan. So, science. Scanification. Wrong button. Scanification. Begin the scan. Slow down. All weapons select. We're basically going to hit him with, like, a truck. Blast him with everything. Kick on the expanding rear generators. And hope the science finishes their job. ESGs went off. Managed to cause quite a bit of nice little damage. And we... barely missed that mine. Nice. Okay, increase speed. We have all the required data. Cut off the expanding... not the expanding speed generator. Cut off the scans. All weapons select. Anything to our stern? No. Luckily, our rear shield did actually manage to hold up against these fighters. Our phasers might be able to wipe them all out, although there is a very juicy target right here. And they're only phaser 3s. Yeah, we're going to get caught in that trap. We're going to basically lay everything we've got into him and open him up like a can opener. Because if he dies, so do the fighters. Come around, expose 2 more phasers. This ought to give us nice shots into him. And... oh, incoming missiles. So let's pop over here and set up a pair of... oh, it's triples. So we will set up 3 point defense tractor beams. Grabbing all of them, we'll let the phasers come back online. Oh, crap! Pull away! Pull away! Ah, that was not good. If we had managed to get them on this shield, it would have been fine. Didn't mean to do that. So we did take out those. Okay, let's angle into the... let's angle into this CVL plus, and we managed to kill him. That did take out the fighters. Unfortunately, we did take damage, which is not grand. We don't want to take damage. Successful scout, though. We scouted him and then killed him. Best kind of scouting, obviously. Not quite sure what the point of it was then. 320 prestige, not bad at all. Tile taken, pop back home. Hi, we're back. Yeah, we took 33 damage because the game decided to do that to us. Buy a couple more of those. Hit the done button, map, and put back right into space. We have much to do. And, well, a decent amount of time to do it in. Let's attack planets. Shipyard assault or convoy raid. Haha, let's not tell that joke. We're just going to go on the convoy raid. Easier to do, first of all, and also shipyards are a little dull. Hit the red alert and increase the speed. We want to make sure that we've got the Wild Weasel going, just in case. You never know. This is, after all, a Marak convoy. We can tell by the color of the ships already. And pop over into the shield and forward shields to maximum power. Zoop, zoop, and good. Double check the ESGs. Make sure they're charging because the one time has scarred me. And it looks like we've got a freighter, a freighter, a freighter, and a freighter at this time. There are no allies to speak of, but I assume there will be many more friendly fighters at some point. Or by friendly, I mean enemy freighters. Yes. Trying to quite think properly. Let's increase the speed. We are, after all, charging everything at a pretty decent rate. So let's push the speed up to the maximum firepower and increase the speed of time, so that we can actually figure out what's going on. We've got 6 freighters in the group. I'm assuming at least one of them is a... one of them must be a Q-ship. And here's our target, a single heavy cruiser at long range, as we pick up our speed to 25.3333. So a single heavy cruiser is our target. He is a carrier. We can tell by the design on this little MFD right here. So we are in basically combat range. So let's slow right down to combat speed so that we get some nice forward defensive shields. He's dumped off a couple of fighters. Looks like 2 groups. So he's a CVL, so a light carrier. And prep the expanding sphere generators. Set them to range 0. We're going to smash them like a ton of bricks, which we actually do quite well. Unfortunately, these fighters are going to hurt quite a bit. We'll try and keep a decent shield towards them. We have all the decoys that we're probably going to need. He's got 4 missile launchers. Kick on the expanding sphere generators. Increase speed. We're chasing them down. And if these fighters get in first, well, basically, we're going to wipe out the fighters. It is a range 0 hit. All the fighters are dead. Turn into him. Fire blasts into his rear shields. And just a little bit closer. 2, 1. There we go. 49 damage got on through. He managed to deal a little bit of damage to himself using his own disruptor beam. So, yeah. 53 in total. Managed to damage him. But the more important thing is we did take out his entire fighter complement, which does make him much weaker to what we have in store for him, which is massed energy, fire, and death. So, slowly letting the weapons charge. We'll hopefully be able to hit the shield, but it's probably going to spread on both of them. All phasers engage. Punch through his defenses. And our front shields are down. Let's turn off just a little bit. As long as we stay this close, he actually can't launch missiles, because missiles have a minimum range of 1. It is something that's very important to remember if you ever decide to play as the Marak. Not that we would ever do that. After all, we are good, honest Lyran citizens. Apparently, I was telling you lies. Defensive tractor beams on at full power. And ESGs are about to kick back on. Capacitors are at full energy to them. And this is going to hurt. Yeah. Actually, not quite as badly as I would have hoped. Let's kick on the high energy turn and close this circle down, because I do want to hit him with the full might of this. Right into him. There we go. There we go. He's dead. Onto the freighters, which I do believe are heading directly away from us. So let us kick on the full maximum speed that we can manage to do and catch up to these guys. Increase the speed of time, because we do actually have to catch up. Our forward shields are currently not online nor operational. We are not charging our disruptors, so we are going to have to slow down a little bit so we start doing that. It's important to. Disruptors charge at the same rate that they hold at, so we can maintain a speed of 25, I believe, while charging disruptors. Forward shields are back, so we should be able to start chasing them down. Actually, I'm probably just going to use a single expanding sphere generator energy blast. That might kill him. It does 20 damage, so it may need more than that, though. You know what? Disruptors? Nope. Didn't quite mean to press that button. I think I pressed the wrong one. Yeah, I hit 2 instead of 1. So, let's hit 2 again. And that did him in. And target you. A single point from an expanding sphere generator. Put on 2. I think 2 will do it. And, yep, 1, 2. Yep, it does take 2. 30-something damage in order to get through the shields. And we'll kick on 2 over here and go after you as well. Zooming along at fairly high speed, actually. So, you only have a single phaser 3. Not particularly concerned about you. We really do need to slow down if we want to engage this properly. Select phasers, slow down properly. There we go. Just enough energy to do that. We'll turn in nice and hard, slow down a little bit more so that we actually get power to, charge important things, such as this expanding sphere generator, which is currently sitting on a 0 capacitor charge. That's not good. We are, however, finally starting to charge the disruptors, which is very good. How much energy? Just not a lot. All weapons. All power from the capacitor. Let's see how much damage we can deal with it. Just enough to kill him. On to the last one. By this point, the phasers should be ready. I just realized we did a high energy turn in a dreadnought. I wasn't thinking at all. I am only now pausing to process that fact. The fact that our dreadnought, which I think only has a 60-something% chance of pulling off a high energy turn, and we did it anyway. Them's not good odds. Not for a ship this large that can be basically crippled if it suddenly finds itself unable to move. 60% odds, granted, is... I'm trying to remember. Would that be a 3-up save? Not important. We killed the enemy. We're going to move on from here. Don't want to dwell on that thought that we risked that. It's actually quite scary. Do-do-do-do. And we are at 316 additional prestige. Supply lines destroyed, however, the planet still remains. So let's peek in on it, say hi. A planetary assault or another convoy raid. We're going to go on the convoy raid, primarily because we are sort of starting to run low on time for an episode. We do, of course, try to keep these down to around 15 minutes, and, well, planets take about 10. Planets and shipyards, generally the big installation assault missions take about 10 minutes to go through, simply because, well, transit times and sieging. Unfortunately, we only see 2 freighters, no friendly units in the area, so let's increase the speed of time, because we do actually need to, catch up and get here, and we're not catching up particularly quickly. Wait until we have all kinds of energy from the rest of the system. How is our expanding sphere generator charge rate going? They're at maximum, so let's kick up the speed to full power. We see another heavy cruiser, another carrier. I am honestly a little bit surprised that we're seeing so many carriers on escort duty. The carrier seems like such a great assault unit, especially, you know, if you want to attack convoys. We found out that carriers were amazing at that. Expanding sphere generator set to a range of 0, set on course, and we're basically going to try and rip him open. Slow down so that we get lots of power into that forward shield, so that we can protect ourselves quite wonderfully. And actually, we're going to select hardpoint 4. We're going to chunk you down, shock a whole bunch of systems, select our ESG, kick it on full power, and hope that we pull out of range. Didn't quite work as I had planned. So the plan had been to expanding sphere generator all these guys and not get hit by all those guys. Ow! They did quite a bit of damage. Holy crap! I know the fighters are dangerous, but they're normally not quite that dangerous. This was a more numerous fighter force. This was a more powerful fighter force. And, well, we basically took it on the teeth. Let's begin to engage with all our weapons because, yeah, these have got to die. I'm going to pull in front of you just a little bit and dump a mine. So we're just going to dump the mine to try and get the fighters off our tail for a little bit. Ye gods, this is not great. Shielding, I want 360 reinforcement because we need it. And we need to be focusing more on these fighters. These fighters are incredibly dangerous. ESGs are going to kick on very shortly. Select 3, select 1. ESGs on. All up and select. Ow! Just ow no. That was painful. That was immensely painful. Keep firing all of the phaser weapons and disruptors, I suppose. We've got to kill some units. Defensive tractor beams kick on. Enough to cover our butt. Also begin the repair work. You got your fighters back. That's no bueno. Tis not good at all. He's got one group of fighters still out in the open. Can we kill you super quickly? You're not very high on power anymore. We've managed to deal quite a bit of damage to you. And our phasers coming online. Sort of lashing out into you. We're going to get basically mauled by another group of fighters. Was hoping to be able to kill you before they got in range. We did, okay, just in time. Those fighters were awfully close. Let's continue the repairs on the ship, because we took a pretty nasty amount of damage. Even those light fighters from the early era, because it only gives you the base fighter, and I would like to figure out a way to go in and change the files so it actually gives larger ships more appropriate, better fighters. But yeah, even those base fighters, which are basically only equipped with phaser 3s, that's a lot of fighters to hit with phaser 3s. So yeah, let's go and finish this convoy off. We don't want them to be able to get their vital supplies in towards our enemies. So maximum power apparently ends there. We have quite a bit of engine damage. I would say an astonishing amount of engine damage. Ow. Those fighters really did a number on us. We are patching the phaser 3s up just in case we get involved in combat before we can actually go home. Which, we might do it. I mean, there's really not a huge point in going home. We only take a little bit of armor damage. Most of our systems are still in line, and we are carrying probably still around 20 points of repair parts. Maybe a little less at this point. Continue to patch. Increase the speed of time. I am a little bit impatient to continue through with this mission. And all disruptors, slow down, phasers. There we go. We're going to go after the one up in front because he's going to be the hardest one to get to. We're now back at full power. And yeah, this is taking a little while because they're going, actually, I think slower than normal. Don't normal freighters travel at a speed of 10? Huh, I guess 7.6 is pretty normal, isn't it? We'll close and fire at a range of about 5. Hopefully that'll do it. It did not. Hopefully the phasers will do it. There we do. They did. Turn back around to the next furthest forward one. Double check quickly on the map, see how close we have gotten to the edge. They didn't quite manage to make it anywhere near the edge. Disruptors didn't do it. Phasers absolutely did. We're going to come around like this so that we actually are flying in the right direction when we hit you. Which, thought about using the ESG, not going to bother. Phasers, destroyed, target you, select ESG, click on all 4, bang. Knocked him completely off his block. All the freighters are destroyed. The escort has been destroyed. That's been 2 carriers. One of them was a fairly large carrier, too, that we managed to completely wipe out. So, not a bad sortie. We are a dreadnought, so we're kind of expected to do well on sorties. And another decent amount of prestige. We are going to go home. And supply yard, hi. We've got a little bit of damage. 144 ended up getting taken. Patch up with spare parts, a couple more mines, some marines just to keep the boarding people off, and yeah, that'll do us good. That's going to wrap it up for an episode there. Starting to really put the pressure down on 8-3, the planet there. I don't think that's the Marag homeworld, but it could be. And we will... I think the Marag homeworld is somewhere around here. But yeah, definitely making inroads. We've got another major target that we're going after, and it's supporting bases. The Marek Star League shall fall, although it will still take quite a bit of time. Anyway, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.